Right, so here we go, our PAT for 2024, the grade 11 version. This is from the DBE, and a shout out to Jesse Thomas for sending this to me. Okay, so let's have a look at our grade 11 PAT for 2024. So this is the first time I'm just having a look through to see what's here. I'll do a more in-depth video on phase 1 and then phase 2. So as usual, they just tell us what the PAT is, what we need to complete it, the fact that phase 1 is for 32 marks, phase 2 is 40 marks. They give you a brief focus and outcome for all the phases. And we're looking at a total of 120 marks. Now, please remember that your PAT counts for 25% of your final mark for the year. So you want to take it seriously, right? Yeah, they go into the normal things of dishonesty, non-compliance, all that type of thing. And there it is, 25% of your final CAT mark. You need to complete your PAT at least 3 weeks before your grade 11 exams, your final grade 11 exam. So just stick to those deadlines. Right, so let's look at the topic. They're dealing with the implications and solutions for e-waste management. Now, what is e-waste? We're talking about electronic waste. So there we can see a picture. We've got our computer. We've got our multifunction printer there as well. We've got what looks like a phone, another device, a monitor, and we've got e-waste. That thing gets taken through. Maybe those devices have come to the end of their life. They need to be thrown away, batteries, anything like that. Right. They say to us here that e-waste or electronic waste refers to disposed electronic devices and equipment. Globally, e-waste is a growing concern due to the development of technology in the production of new electronic products. To address the challenges associated with e-waste, it's important for governments, manufacturers, and consumers to work together to accept sustainable practices such as promoting recycling. And then they continue with all of this. And then they mention also the e-waste day on the 14th of October. Right. And then here at the bottom, what is the responsibility of the young consumer? So they're targeting you. You are the consumer. You are the one using these products and purchasing these products. So the younger consumer in the responsible management of e-waste. Okay, let's go down. Here they show us the breakdown of the critical metals inside of your phone. So there we can see all of that information. And here we go. Your task is to research one of the following. Okay, please, only one. Don't ask for two. Please, yeah, we do get this as teachers. So it's one of the following: environmental implications, or health implications, or economic implications. So please just go and research on that first. What do we mean by environmental implications? Does e-waste affect our environment positively or negatively? Does e-waste affect our health? Does it have any sort of impact on our health? Is there an economic impact, positive or negative, from e-waste? Okay. So we are to research one of these implications of e-waste and to identify solutions. So you're going to be finding out, well, is there an environmental implication to e-waste? Yes, there is, blah, blah, blah. You'll find out some information on that. And then you need to identify solutions for responsible disposal or recycling practices in South Africa. Now, it could be that with environmental implications, you might find that they only look at recycling, or they maybe only look at the responsible disposal, whichever one. But this is what you are tasked to do. So again, to be clear, and I want to actually open this link while I'm here. Your task is to research one of these. So, for example, to research the environmental implications of electronic waste. Now, that could be the positive and the negative, what it is, how you actually go about disposing of electronic waste, and then to identify solutions. They're not saying how many. We'll see as we go through for the responsible disposal or recycling practices in South Africa. Locally in your area, in your province, or nationally. So you need to make a decision here with one of these. You then add in a solution, and then you'll identify or focus your research on your particular area, your province, or nationally. It's up to you. Don't do all three. You need to choose one of them. Then they give you a link here to a resources folder. So I just want to bring that over. And there we can see in our resources folder, we've got the PAT document. You've got resources in South Africa here. Resources from other countries. So there you can see there are documents on the environmental impact of e-waste, hazardous e-waste materials, etc. And then phase 2 database examples as well. So this is all inside of this folder, right? The resources folder, there's the link. Click on it and it will take you there. Right, so now we know what our task is. The next thing is the focus question. So the focus question that you are required to answer is, now wait a minute, hold up. This is important because what are they doing here? They are giving you the focus question. So you can't get this wrong, right? You have a heading focus question, and then what are you going to do? This is your focus question. You're going to type it out as is. There's only one thing you are going to change, and that is whatever you have chosen over here. So if you've chosen, for example, health implications, then your focus question will read, what are the health implications of e-waste, and which responsible, disposable, or recycling practice could be applied in South Africa? Right? Done. That's your focus question. So they also give you links to other videos. Okay, that one. Let's see, is that one open? Yes, I see this opening here as well. Okay, so all of that is there for you to use. And then they say you must also choose from the following list of resources for your research. Obviously, what you choose is going to be in line with what you have chosen as your topic. So I hope you are clear now on the task, and I hope you are clear on the focus question that you need to have as well. There's tons of resources here that you can go through, but you are not limited to use only this. Right. Then they want you to ask questions to guide your research. Now, this is always something that messes some of the kids up. Ask questions to guide your research. These are questions you are asking yourself so that you can get more info, right? This is usually separate to the questionnaire itself, but let's see if anything has changed here. The following are examples of questions that could be asked so you can get some ideas. You may use up to 8 of the questions below. Why? To help you. Reword the questions. And then you must add 2 questions of your own. Man, they're making it too easy. Yeah, for the last couple of years, you had to come up with your own. Now they're actually giving you questions. So you can choose 8 of these, any 8 of these, to guide your research. What research? What research? Researching the environmental implications or health implications or economic implications of e-waste. And checking out, obviously, the responsible disposal or recycling practices. Again, not just in South Africa, but in South Africa locally, regionally, or nationally. Okay? So I hope it's still together. So 8 questions you can pull from here, but you have to reword them. And then you have to come up with 2 of your very own original questions. Okay. So I hope that's clear. Right. Let's go through. And now we're going on to phase 1. Here they give us sort of a time that we should be spending on this. Let's see. Task 1, phase 1, create a suitable folder structure. So that's just creating a folder with your surname and name, grade 11 PAT folder. Then inside of that, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then generally what you should have in there. So in phase 1, you'll have a sources subfolder, in other words, a folder inside of the phase 1 folder, and a document that deals with the planning and summary. Phase 2, inside that folder, you have a questionnaire. You have a completed questionnaire saved in a subfolder. You've got a spreadsheet. You've got a database. And that summary and planning document, that's the same one from here. You just bring it into phase 2 and you update it there. And then phase 3, I see it's just a website. Okay, so things have changed. All right, let's see how it goes. Then task 2, creating and planning, or creating your planning and summary document structure. And they tell you what they need. So you're going to have a document with your cover page, these details on it, headings in there. Finalize your focus question. Oh, guess what? You've already got your focus question. It just depends on which topic or which item you are going to research. Create a task definition. And then ask questions that will guide your investigation. Oh, okay. So what did they say earlier? They've already given you a list of questions and you can choose any 8 of them. You just need to reword them and then come up with 2 original ones as well. So then they say we have appendices. So usually right at the end, we have, there we go, Appendix A. This is a declaration of authentication that has to go in, right, when you hand everything in at the end. And then here's your learner declaration. There was supposed to be, there's usually another one. Okay, I don't see it here. They want you to create a new addendum under appendices. So this is in this document. You'll basically create a table like this where you're going to put your 10 questions in, and you're going to pop them in there according to the relevant category for each question, the question level. Obviously, question 1 is a very basic type question, whereas question 4 is a more involved, a more difficult question, one where you are looking for certain information to actually come through there. Then your type of source, your bibliographical information, quality of info found, and the summary. Now, I know here we often get stuck because you're not sure based on the question that you've asked, like where you actually getting this info. Can you actually put info in there? But we'll see as we go along. Okay, then you need to find sources. In other words, when it comes to the sources, when you ask the question, and you look at the question level and the question category, that's all fine. But when you get to this section, you need to think of it this way. Where am I going to get the answer to that question? So, for example, if I ask the question, well, let's go and look at one. Why is e-waste a growing concern? So I pop it in there. Now I've got to think, okay, what type of category? Is that investigative? Sounds like it. Where am I going to get that information? So I might go to the internet for that. So my type of source would be internet. Then my biographical information would be, well, I haven't just gone to the internet and just looked at it. I actually went to a particular website. I found a website. I found an article online. And that's where I'm going to put this information in there to show the website address that I went to. Then the quality of the information. Was the information biased? Was the information good quality information? Does it come from a solid source? And then the summary of information, you're just putting in a sentence or 2 here just to say what was really on that site or what was really in that particular article. So you could say something if it was an article that you got online, you can say this article speaks about the advantages or disadvantages of e-waste, for example. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to go through the rubric as well. So that was phase 1. That's task 4. Task 5, finding sources. Yes. Yeah, they show you what your sources need to look like. Remember, this is just a first look through everything Task 6, engage with and use the information and data, and then check before you hand in. So this is really what's there usually for all the phases, and then you get your rubric, and I'll go through the rubrics again. Then phase 2 is where you deal with a questionnaire. And what's important here is, yes, you can use a Google form, create a Google form, send it out to folks. You need at least 5 questions, excluding biographical data. So those 5 can't include things like name, gender, age, address. Okay, but you need at least 5 questions. And then they mention here, let's just see, yes, distribute the questionnaire to at least 20 people in your school. Or in other words, you need at least 5 questions. You need to have at least 20 responses as well. And here they say, if you've used Google or Microsoft Forms, save the original questionnaire in PDF format in your PAT Phase 2 folder after you have sent it out. This serves as evidence that 20 responses were received. Okay, so just bear all of that in mind. If you use the Word electronic form, save the 20 completed electronic questionnaires after they have been completed in the appropriate folder. So please just take that into consideration when you are dealing with that. Right, then you're going to create a spreadsheet. Now this spreadsheet is based off of the information, or the data rather, that you got through your electronic form and through your Google form. You're then going to process that. They want 2 relevant graphs with the various titles there. They want a database as well. Do not export your spreadsheet data to a database table. Okay, I was going to do that. Use the database provided to you. So that sample, let's go up to the sample. That one. They want you to use these. They want you to make use of these samples. Okay, let's see where I was now. Further down. Okay, so that for phase 2 is now your questionnaire, your spreadsheet, your database. Copy the database your teacher will provide. Okay, if it's not that one, then your teacher is going to be providing you with that. You need at least 2 queries and 1 with a criteria and 1 with sorting. So please, you need to spend time reading through this. Okay, then you need to update the planning and summary document created in phase 1. They want you to add a cover page. They want you to add summarized information from your spreadsheet and summarized information from your database. And then you run through the checklist before you hand in for phase 2. And then phase 3, it was just the website. So they want a home page. Let's see. Yeah, home page and second page. So your website has to have 2 pages. Your home page must just have the topic, the focus question, and an abstract. And then they tell you what an abstract is. And when they talk about a functional navigation system, they just mean the fact that I can actually click on links, that they work. If I go to the bottom and I have a link taking me to the top, that it actually works, that I can scroll through things, etc. The second page, good quality and factually correct information. 3 appropriate facts, findings, or graphs, or the results of queries relevant to the topic. So basically, a good chunk of your information that you had in phase 1 and 2. Reference the information you share by hyperlinking it to sources you found on the internet. Yeah, that's fine. They would like you to use different elements, etc. But I'll go through that when I go through the rubric, and then just ensure that you've completed the final declaration of authenticity when you hand in phase 3. And I think that is that. So yeah, we can see now exactly what they want from us, just as an overview. But it looks like a very interesting topic. So all the best, grade 11, and then I'll see you in the videos where I go in detail on the rubric and maybe see for a few samples from previous years.